Hi everyone, welcome back to Swiss Home Garden. Chitra here. In this video, I will be taking you along for a tour of our May garden. Let's begin the tour. Across the main entrance to our home is these two hazelnut trees, and beside the hazelnut tree is our elderberry bush. You get the whole view of the garden from here. It's such a difference compared to a few months back when it was all dry and grey and brown. Let's begin our tour from the herb garden. We are using these two raised beds exclusively for herbs. Some of these herbs are actually perennials, they come every year, and the one with the flowers are the chives, and behind the chives are some rosemary. This here is the small basil. In the grey pot we have some cilantro. What we planted this year are garden cress. Garden cress is a nice salad which has some medicinal property, and you can add it into your other green salads. You also get a glimpse of this lilac on the border to our neighbor, and we get all the wonderful smell most of the time when the wind is blowing towards our side. On the grey raised bed is a wild strawberry which one of my good friends gave it to me during winter. And it's nice that they survived, and we actually planted it just early spring and they are already fruiting. The berries are a little bit small but they are very sweet. This small little tree is a banana tree. We took a small stem and planted it into this area. For planting banana, you just need a stem and plant it, and they start to grow on their own. In my last video, you saw us planting maize in this extended part of the garden, and we have in the meantime planted chives, and those plants over there are round zucchinis. And just close to the bridge are these spring onions on this bed. We already started to harvest. We had planted these spring onions way back in autumn. Across the stream, we have planted a few varieties of potatoes, and this is one such bed. And behind in that galvanized iron bed, we have some colorful different lettuces and salads, and in between we have spinach, and far behind we have planted a few zucchinis. Here he is harvesting some of these salad radishes. These salad radishes make a nice addition to a colorful bowl of salad with all the different salad leaves in it. In front of the greenhouse, those green plants are Swiss chard, and beside the Swiss chard we still have an empty patch left. We are yet to decide what we will be planting. Towards my right over here is the onion, and further behind are some more potatoes. We have planted potatoes in a few different locations. Let's move on to the tomato house. It has been a little bit cold, and especially during the night it had dropped down to 2 or 3 degrees in the last few days. It was actually very practical to cover up this. To protect the tomatoes from being eaten up by the slugs in our garden, we use these snail caps. When they are so tender and small, it's good to give them this support. That way they can thrive, and once they're at a certain height and a little bit stronger, then it doesn't matter so much even if the slugs attack a few leaves. But at this stage, it is very critical. These terracotta pots are an excellent way to water the tomatoes, because what we do is we water only the roots. If we water on the leaves develop fungus. By watering into these pots, we water the tomatoes in a passive way and the water gets directly to the roots. This here is our cherry tree, and we have a few cherries. It's not yet season. It will take, I think, about a couple of weeks till they can ripen, but I do see a few cherries in it. Below the cherry tree is garlic and also our strawberry bed. They are yet to ripen, but in the meantime, every day a few are ripening. We also had a small little empty space beside the garlic bed, and we planted some more of our heirloom tomatoes. We had actually planted a lot of our heirloom tomatoes and there was not enough space, so we gifted a few to our neighbor and they were very happy to receive them. In between the strawberry plants are some weeds. One of them is marsh horsetail, and this is an excellent fungicide for the plants. I will share in my next video a fungicide recipe with these horsetail plants. The other lighter plants are just plain weeds, so I'm trying to de-weed a few and giving a hand in the garden a little bit. I'm not much of a gardener, but I'm trying to do something over here. Towards the edge of the garden, you see some of the silvery greyish bushes, and they are our seabuck thornberry bushes. Unfortunately, one of them didn't survive the winter, or I think it was sick, we are not sure. It has died out and we just realized it a few weeks back. It's beyond saving. We'll have to figure out what was wrong with it. This is the garlic patch, and beside it some more tomatoes. There are a few more in the pot, and that was what we gifted to our neighbor. What you see here is some peas and cucumbers, and you saw us planting towards the edge some okras. There are a couple of okras. Those bigger plants are some potatoes which are from last year. These small plants are the peas, and beside it the bigger leaf are the cucumbers. Let's move on inside the greenhouse. Inside the greenhouse, you see that we are yet to plant some more of these plants which we have been germinating. These are all from our heirloom seeds. The bitter melon has nicely grown. You saw us planting it in the last video. And these are our chilies. It looks like we will be getting a lot of chilies from the greenhouse. And a couple of sweet potatoes from last year. Don't think we harvested all of them. And this is our curry leaf plants. And just behind towards the corner are the physalis. Our banana has also started to grow well. I forgot to shoot this sometime back, but then I saw that they were really growing quite tall again this year. Unfortunately, they do not fruit. In this bed, we had planted spinach, and we have already been able to harvest some of the spinach from here. Moving back towards the stream, left of the bridge is rhubarb. We are harvesting a few, and this here is the mint. I would never plant mint on the ground because they're invasive and they take away a lot of precious gardening space. Let's move on towards the front yard. These are the elderberry bushes. They are at different stages of blooming and fruiting. First, I would like to collect some of the flowers and make some elderberry syrup. Below the elderberry bushes, I found this beautiful wild flower. I have really no idea what this flower or plant is called. Moving to the front yard, you can see that we don't do a lot over here. And we also like to see a lot of these beautiful wildflowers. This is our pawpaw tree, and those dried leaves are actually the flowers which have dried. Hopefully soon we get some pawpaw. In autumn, we planted some mirabelles, and there you can also see some of these fruits. I'm just looking forward to harvesting them in summer. With this, I end my tour and video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and thank you for watching. If you're new to my channel, kindly subscribe. I post one new video every week on food from scratch, Swiss country living, gardening and natural recipes. Follow me along on Instagram and the usual social media networks. I do post regularly there too. I will leave the link below in the description box. Until next time, bye bye.